If you could pick only 5 things to carry with you for photography on a daily basis, what would that be? We tend to grab all the possible gear in the world, everywhere we go, regardless if it's needed or not. It just needs to be with us in the camera bag everywhere. It gives us a more of a safety feeling, I guess. Well, this is what I would pick. Firstly is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Of course, I wouldn't mind a 15 Pro, but for now, this one still works quite well and does the job. I usually use this for short videos when I'm traveling. I use it to shoot photos of my A7 III in general. It has the capability to shoot RAW in a DNG format. It gives me the peace of mind that I won't need to stress that the colors might break when editing the shots. It's somehow an extension of my hand. Can quickly post something on Instagram, do a story, use the Instagram filters that I usually use for posting something before I reach home and have time to edit. It is compact, you have it with you absolutely everywhere. As I usually say, this is also the best way to start photography as a beginner, since the excuse of, yeah, but I don't have my camera with me can't be used. Also, the best part of it is that it is mainly a phone. So I can call, text, check the analytics, reply to emails, schedule coaching meetings, send newsletter, check the website. It's all in one. I don't need to carry my MacBook with me everywhere. Also, it has quite the capabilities to do post-processing on it. It syncs with my presets from Lightroom desktop to mobile. And I can use the same presets and I can add masks and so on. I think it's the most used tool that I usually carry. 1 down, 4 to go. I bought this some months ago and I'm not regretting it at all. This is the Mavic Air 2. Now, I know there are newer models as well, but I don't need one. Plus, I bought it already used, so it was quite a bargain. I have been using this on my last holiday and got some awesome shots. You'll see some of them here roll in. I know, the DJI Mini latest models are smaller and better but I'm having a drone license, so I don't need to limit myself to something under 250 grams. Also, a heavier drone might be a bit more stable in strong winds. It's also not that big, actually. Also, having the license gives you more possibilities. This has a weight of 570 grams with batteries included. And let me tell you this, drone photography made me love photography even more. It gave me new possibilities, new ways of composing the shots. I love it. It is a bit noisy indeed when you start it, but I don't quite care if people look at me. I'm having the license. I'm not starting it randomly. I'm not flying it above groups. I'm not flying it somewhere where it's not allowed. People are sometimes just curious, and that's fine. The quality that this drone can shoot is still awesome. I mean, you saw the photos. The shots have a resolution of 8000 by 6000, so you can easily print if that's your intention. It is such a nice tool to have with me everywhere. It's like an additional layer for telling a story, for recreating the feeling that I had when I was in a particular environment or scenario. 3 more to go. Next one, it's my almighty A7 III and the only camera that I have and the only one that I would use. I have the camera since 2019. The body comes with a great full frame sensor, 24 megapixels. I say great because for me at some point, if the sensor has too many megapixels, it reaches the point where storage can become a problem. Battery wise, on original one you can shoot around 700 shots. Fantastic autofocus. This camera has eye autofocus for humans and animals, which you can set from the menu. Lock on autofocus tracking, it never let me down. I think I can count on my fingers how many times it failed to lock and hold focus in so many years. The camera lacks a turn screen, but I'm not doing video that much, so for me that's not quite a downside. It would be awesome to have it, but it's alright. Video capabilities shoots at 4K at 24 FPS. So if you have in mind to shoot at 4K at 120 frames per second, the A7 III can't do that unless you switch to 1080p. When shooting log, the base ISO for the camera is 800 and it's not having like the A7S III a dual ISO. The point here is you need a lot of light. The good part is you need light anyhow to make things look great. Another good thing is that light is not that expensive anymore if we're talking about studio lights or continuous lights. Budget-wise, this body can be found around 1,500 euros or $2,000. And you'll be having a beast of a camera for this price. It's one of the cheapest full-frame cameras on the market today. I've met a lot of people that are making a living from photography and they're using the A7 III, and they said that once the shutter breaks, they'll try and just buy a new A7 III because the colors are great and because for what they pay, they can deliver projects for double the investment. And that's quite smart. 2 more to go. There's one lens that stays 99.9% of the time on my camera, and that's the 24-70mm from Sigma 2.8. The biggest advantage of a 24-70 is, of course, that it's extremely versatile. It's a bit of everything. You got a wide angle and a narrow one at 70mm. If you compare a zoom to a prime lens, the zoom lenses are having a range of focal lengths compared to primes, where there's only one single focal length, and in order to zoom in or zoom out, you need to move closer or further away from the subject. It's literally an all-around at an affordable price. If you compare it to the G Master lens from Sony, I think that one is around double the price of the Sigma. I bought this lens last year. I was dreaming about owning one, and I tell you, it's the best investment I ever did. This lens allowed me to carry less weight, not to have 4 or 5 prime lenses with me always, allowed me to shoot wide whenever was needed, and also zoom in a bit when it was the time or when it was needed. The 2.8 still allows you to have that out of focus and foreground background separation. I don't know, for me this is like a killer lens. Of course I could combine it with a 70 to 200 millimeters to have that compression, but I guess I'd use that only in some cases, and still the 24-70 would be the most used lens. Alright, last one. This is not always with me. It usually depends on the time I'm out and if there's any way to recharge my phone. Since my 12 Pro Max, it's quite old, the battery is not top notch anymore. So I got my worthy base use 10K milliampere power bank. The battery gets low quite fast when doing post-processing in Lightroom on the phone. So if it's mandatory to edit something, I know I have a backup with me to recharge my phone. That's it for today. If you enjoyed, let me know below, and I'm curious, what are you carrying with you every day? See you next week. Cheers.